Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Flame Emperor episode number 519 based on novel. So let's start. The rest is up to you. The three-way passage between the ghost world, the fairy world and the endless fire domain has been opened. If the headquarters is attacked, immediately call for help. One side is in trouble, and the support of the three sides is enough to deal with the attack of the evil god-level powerhouse. However, the foreign evil clan is now standing still, and it seems that they will not attack rashly in a short time. Xiao Yan and Kaylin stood on the crack in the spacetime heading to the demon realm area, and orders emerged one after another in an orderly manner. Now that Mu Yingying is in retreat, Yun Yun goes to the immortal world, and only Zuna is left in charge of the endless fire domain, so Xiao Yang can't help but say a few more words. Well, be careful on this trip. Zuna nodded and smiled, looking at Xiao Yang and Kaylin. She couldn't help but feel a little envious, but she still has a lot of confidence in the current endless fire realm. This is the foundation of today's endless fire territory. Go. As soon as the words fell, the journey to the demon world completely began. The demon world is naturally full of places where Dakian world ascends after spiritual cultivation. Excluding the many monsters whose birthplace is the monster world, the heaven and earth that ascended into the monster world will be randomly assigned to various regions. The demon realm, the demon hunting plane, here is the exit of the space passage from the endless fire domain to the demon realm. After all, Xiao Yang and the others have not negotiated with the powerful demon realm, so there is no fixed spatial coordinate to connect the two places, and the transmission is also random. The demon world is a bit special. It is different from the human world and other places. Even I can't judge the specific location. Kaylin seemed to be aware of Xiao Yang's concerns and shook his head suddenly. The power of the 10 colors in Kaylin's body was abnormally agitated, which made him unable to exert his strength now, but apart from his pale face and the whole person looking weak, things like moving are naturally no different from ordinary people. Go this way. Xiao Yang raised his head and chose a direction at will. The demon world is very powerful, but Xiao Yang believes that with his current strength of the 6th level reincarnation, even if he accidentally enters the area of some powerful races in the demon world, he can still wait for the opportunity to ask about the territory of the black dragon and wolf. Because this is a region where strength is respected, although various monster species are also feared. However, strength is the best pass for walking in the demon world. Yep. Kaylin didn't say much. After all, this guy was the queen of the snake people, and her cold personality was naturally her true color. The two of them flew aimlessly over this plane. After flying for about a quarter of an hour, they felt a violent energy fluctuation on the edge of this plane. That kind of fluctuation is the sky-high demonic energy unique to the demon world. Finally found someone. Seeing this, Xiao Yang smiled slightly, and then the two of them flew directly towards the area where the breath spread. It was a rocky area. At this time, several burly and sturdy human figures appeared. Several of them fluctuated well, but their eyes were sarcastic, and they slowly surrounded a ferocious guy. This guy. Xiao Yang and Kaylin stood in the air. With the protection of Xiao Yang's soul power, these monsters naturally couldn't find their shadow. After the retreat ended, the soul power reached the Immortal Ascension realm from the beginning of the Immortal Ascension realm, but even if Fen Ju broke through to the 3rd rank, the other rank stayed in the top Immortal Art category and lingered, unable to break through Immortal Art. The category has entered the God level, which is extremely strange. Xiao Yang looked at the besieged figure with complicated eyes. Xiao Yang seemed to remember something. This guy is actually the Serenity Sea Dragon Snake, the demon world powerhouse who appeared in the reincarnation cave. But now his figure is very embarrassed, and the sound of a steady stream of demonic dragon roars spreads out, and he is fighting fiercely with the surrounding powerhouses. 5 double reincarnation monsters deal with a triple reincarnation. Kaylin watched this good show with great pleasure, and even the blood in the body slowly produced a contempt for the ants from the superior. After all, the 10-colored sky-swallowing python is also a type of monster. Strange, in the demon world, the 3 overlords and 7 demon kings should maintain the current demon world. Could it be that the supreme demon power of the demon emperor's predecessors can't shock these guys? Looking at the scene in front of him, Xiao Yang was a little stunned. When he first entered the demon world for training, the strength of the 3 major overlords was only hovering at the level of reincarnation. Around the 7 demon kings and 8 stars fighting immortals, there was even one person who was killed by himself, and the demon emperor was the most powerful person who had stepped into the path of God. Hey, you high dragon and snake, let's catch it. Don't think that we will not dare to kill you if you take refuge with Lord Heixalanglang. The 5 strong men spoke at the same time, and their voices were full of turbidity and threats. Tianxiong Tyrant is really an idiot. While Lord Monster Emperor is out and the 2 adults are in retreat, do you want to split up, split the demon realm? In the entire demon world, apart from Lord Demon Emperor, who has convincing aura? The Nether Sea Dragon Snake roared directly, obviously disdain for the words of the 5 people. Stubborn. Boom. As soon as the sound fell, an astonishing demonic energy spread out from above this area. It turned out to be a huge wave of energy of hundreds of meters, spreading away in all directions. Damn. I fought with you. The secluded sea dragon snake roared, and the demonic energy in the body actually boiled, and there were faint traces of desperate efforts. Bang. In such a tense situation, the entire world suddenly darkened, and a dark energy instantly enveloped everyone, and an invisible devouring meaning poured into my heart. Who? Immediately, the expressions of the 5 monster beast figures changed, and they scolded, a hint of fear appeared in their hearts. The entire dark area was extremely silent, and no one responded to them. This volatility. The Yuhai dragon snake, who was just about to desperately frown, couldn't help but frown, as if this breath had a few fates. Yuhai long snake, stay safe. Xiao Yang's figure and Kaylin's figure emerged together, and then a hearty voice came out. Xiao Yang. At this moment, Yuhai Dragon Snake looked at the person in front of him in disbelief and lost his voice. Xiao Yang's great achievements have long been rumored and become a household name. Devouring the 3rd sacred flame, the savior of the fairy world, the first person in the catastrophe of the ghost world, etc., both in terms of strength and character, they are already legendary figures in the Great Thousand World. How could such a legend appear in the demon world? Xiao Yang. The guy who pretended to be Xiao Yang, who pretended to be Xiao Yang, we have met hundreds of them, but all of them died. Listening to the voice of Yuhai Dragon and Snake, the 5 people in front of them directly ridiculed Dan, but unfortunately they didn't read the following before the words were finished. Who? It's quiet now. Xiao Yang's handsome face was surging, and he smirked at the secluded sea dragon and snake, and then the 5 second-level reincarnation rank powerhouses around him suddenly fell into a drowsy state of suspended animation. Given the current triple reincarnation strength of the Serenity Sea Dragon and Snake, there is no trace of Xiao Yang's shot, so these people look like this. The person in front of him seemed to be the real Xiao Yang. Seeing Xiao Yang's resolute wrist, Yuhai Long Snake's eyes shrank slightly. At the beginning of the reincarnation cave, it had only been a few years, but this Xiao Yang's strength had soared to such a terrifying level. Terrible. Can't help but let Yuhai Dragon Snake take a breath. The situation in the demon world doesn't seem optimistic. Xiao Yang asked straight to the point. The Lord Demon Emperor has brought some blessings, allowing the 3 major overlords to obtain a lot of precious resources, so it has helped them improve a lot of strength, but because Lord Demon Emperor has joined the center of the demon world, he is not involved in the pattern of the demon world and the White Tiger. With the unification of the Sho King and the Haisha Dragon Wolf, the Tianxiong Tyrant gradually realized that something was not right, so he wanted to annex the territories of the other 2 overlords. The 2 overlords are now in retreat, and the whereabouts of the Demon Emperor are unknown, so there is this scene. Yuhai Dragon Snake smiled helplessly, but his voice was full of hatred for Tianxiong Tyrant. Do you know the location of the Black Dragon Wolf? Xiao Yang nodded lightly, but he didn't care about the current situation of the demon world. His purpose was just to enter the center of the demon world to solve Kaylin's affairs. For other matters, let the demon world be allowed to develop. Sir, this is a trace of my soul power. It will take you to the station. I still have some personal matters that I can't go with you. The Nether Sea Dragon Snake laughed dryly, obviously having concerns. Twisting the palm of his hand, a group of green monster shadows appeared. Do you need help? Although Xiao Yang didn't want to get involved in the demon world too much, he still had a few encounters with the Nether Sea Dragon Snake, so he still asked. Thank you for your kindness, but it's not necessary. Yuhai Long Snake's eyes were a little stunned, and after a brief hesitation, he rejected Xiao Yang's kindness. Then say goodbye here. With a trace of soul power led by the Serenity Sea Dragon Snake, Xiao Yang and the 2 were smooth and unimpeded along the way, and directly moved towards the station of the Haisha Dragon Wolf. That guy seems to have the fluctuation of holy flame, don't you think it's strange? Amidst the turbulent void, Kaylin's beautiful eyes moved slightly. He has his own destiny. Xiao Yang shook his head. Obviously, the holy flame on that guy's body was ranked too low. As a result, the Fenju and many holy flames in his body did not produce any turbulent fluctuations. After speaking, he walked towards the destination. The Nether Sea Dragon Snake does have the 33rd sacred flame, but this guy deliberately hides some things from Xiao Yang because he also has his own ambitions. He wanted to kill the Qianxiong tyrant during the two overlords' retreat, but he didn't know that it was this greed that completely ruined his life. Demon Domain, Demon City. There is no end to the horizon, the huge territory, and the huge flow of people. It is the largest city under the command of the Black Devil Dragon Wolf, and it is also the residence of the two overlords today. In the whole city, it looks like the human world. The city walls and fences emerged to protect the whole city. Inside, there are many high-rise buildings and ancient palaces. Stop, you two, show. Just after arriving at the door, the serious patrolling guards in front of them spoke directly to Xiao Yang and the two of them. Xiao Yang summoned the spirit beast of the dragon and snake of the Nether Sea. The sole power of the secluded sea dragon snake? Go and report to Dai Chi, Lord Six-Tailed, 2 adults, please come with me. Just after finishing speaking, they were led by the patrolling guards and walked towards the magnificent palace in the city with the two of them. In the Grand Palace, it seemed a little quiet, but there was still the powerful aura of many monsters, including Haisha Longlang and others, so Xiao Yang and the two waited quietly. Squeak. The main entrance of the palace was slowly pushed open, and 2 female figures walked in slowly. The 2 women are both slender, one of them is quite young, and his strength is only worthy of reincarnation. His eyes are as clear and transparent as the morning dew. The tail slightly reveals a supreme demon power, and the strength is probably also the powerhouse of the demon world around the triple reincarnation level. This is the legendary Endless Fire territory, Lord Xiao Yu? The girl spoke softly, her eyes seeming to be eager to try. Dai Chi, don't be rude. The middle-aged woman shook her head slowly with a stern tone. Hasn't the Black Dragon Wolf retreat been out yet? Xiao Yang raised his head silently, his tone full of urgency. Is this the strongest monster in the monster world and the king of beasts at the same time, the power of the 10-color swallowing python? Turning her head to look at the strange fluctuations on Kaylin's body, the beautiful eyes of the 6-tailed monster beast woman beat violently, and a touch of ecstasy poured into her heart. What's the solution? These 2 people can come and go freely in the Haisha Dragon Wolf's residence, and they are naturally trustworthy people, so Xiao Yang has nothing to hide. The Demon Emperor once left an entrustment. He seemed to have a foreboding that the adults would come to the demon world sooner or later, but that entrustment was taken away by Lord Haisha Longlang in retreat, and now it is at the critical moment of retreat. The 6-tailed monster nodded and shook his head, also thinking about this question. Teacher. Among the monster beasts, it seems that the ancestors of the 9-tailed fox clan have fought against this ancient alien beast. I'm not sure where they will find a solution. Dai Chi's lips and teeth bit his small mouth, and the white arms that were hugged together for some unknown reason seemed to have some traces of blue, and the whole complexion was also very strange. This kind of fluctuation was caused by the invisible majesty of the blood of the world on Kaylin's body, which caused such a strong unease in this weak girl. 9-tailed fox family? But this race is too stubborn, even if. Listening to Dai Chi's opening, the 6-tailed woman suddenly shook her head, as if she was very afraid of what she mentioned. Now that the Black Demon Dragon Wolf is in retreat, it's better to go and try it instead of waiting here. Xiao Yang smiled lightly. Now, as long as he doesn't encounter a real 7th-level reincarnation rank powerhouse, it seems that no one can stop him. Okay. There seems to be a record of this ancient alien beast in the 9-tailed fox clan, but even if the Demon Emperor appears, they will never be convinced by this huge ancient race. The 6-tailed monster explained some basic information. Do you have a specific address? Xiao Yang said, Dai Chi, you should bring the 2 adults there. The 6-tailed monster noticed the urgency in Xiao Yang's voice and said immediately, choosing the day is worse than hitting the sun, let's do it now. What? After Xiao Yang said this, Dai Chi felt a little dazed for a while. Okay. As soon as the words fell, the 3 slowly left the hall and walked towards some taboo places in the demon realm. Can this girl get some inheritance of the 9-tailed fox with the help of Lord Xiao Yu? 10-colored swallowing python, that is to shake the gods of heaven and earth with one mouth closed, and the sun, moon, and stars can be swallowed with one mouth open. As soon as the voice fell, the silence it should have been restored here again. In the land of the demon realm, apart from the territory of the 100 kingdoms occupied by the 3 major overlords, there is a special zone in the demon realm called the 100,000 Great Border. In this area, there are countless super monsters from ancient times living here. They don't care about the world, and they don't bother to interfere in the changes in the size of the monster world, no matter how devastating the monster world is. Internal battles have never been able to shake their high status. This kind of super monster group, I am afraid that only the Demon Emperor and some powerhouses in the center of the demon world come forward and can make them fear. Because even the strength of the three major overlords in the demon world is still as small as dust compared to them. In Dajiang, the nine-tailed fox family originated from the ancient alien beast, the nine-tailed demon fox. This is also the area where the six-tailed demons said that it is hopeful to solve the power of the 10 colors on Kalin. Legend has it that this kind of monster is only second only to the 10-color swallowing python, the king of beasts and other monsters. The nine-tailed fox clan controls strange techniques such as charm and mind control. Coupled with all kinds of rumors, this group of monsters is full of endless legends. The nine-tailed fox clan occupies the nine-tailed demon vein beyond the 100 countries in the demon realm, in the north of the 100,000 Great Border. In this vast mountain range, mountains, forests, lakes, etc. Among the nine-tailed demon veins. Looking from a distance of 100,000 Dajiang, there are few people in this area, but from time to time there will be some chattering voices coming from the demon veins, and the faint fluctuations actually contain some kind of shocking power. The 100,000 Dajiang is an independent territory. With the erosion of the years, the bones of countless strong people are exposed between this world, and many of them are buried under the inheritance of some powerful bones. Among the 100,000 Dajiang, there are several super monster species inherited from ancient times, the nine-tailed fox family, the 8 monsters and the snake family, etc. This piece of heaven and earth, which used to be extremely quiet, suddenly appeared 3 uninvited guests at this time. Above the sky, the piercing sound of wind breaking constantly resounded in this world, and 2 figures stood quietly in the sky. In this world, there are actually several powerful and hidden auras dormant, and the demon world is really hidden. Xiao Yan glanced away at will, and he sensed some subtle fluctuations in the 4 directions of the 100,000 Great Border. Obviously, the demon world can become the most powerful place other than the human world, and naturally it has many little-known secrets. The power of the 10-colored sky-swallowing python also has some rare throbbing. These forces should be one of the foundations of the demon world. Kalin nodded. Hey, that's natural. This kind of ancient monster population will only be short-lived when the center of the demon world is summoned or when the demon world faces life and death. Usually, it is a group of guys who see the beginning and the end of the dragon. But their strength is very strong. At least the powerhouses headed by Lord Haisha Longlang cannot deal with a population of ancient monsters alone. Dai Chi opened her mouth softly, and her voice turned out to be full of yearning. But now she can slowly sense that the 2 people beside her, whether it is Xiao Yang or Kalin, the reincarnation fluctuations on their bodies are not weaker than the Haisha dragon wolf. More than anything, the nine-tailed demon vein in the northern part of Dajiang is the residence of the nine-tailed fox clan, and it is also the ultimate goal of our trip. The time and space here is special, we should not continue to fly, otherwise we will be killed by the nine-tailed fox powerhouse as an outsider who has entered the station by mistake. Let's go. Dai Chi looked at the huge rolling mountain range in front of her. Obviously she had entered the territory of the nine-tailed demon vein at this time, and said vigilantly. The nine-tailed fox clan is still very resistant to foreign creatures. No need, someone is coming. Just as Xiao Yang was about to make a move, he saw the void in front of him suddenly surging strangely, and then a burst of rainbow light came over the sky, and a majestic aura of wind and rain surrounded the 3 bodies. It's the demon fox guard, we were discovered. These guys are in charge of the daily patrols of the nine-tailed demon vein. Xiao Yang's 3 people's eyes slowly looked at the whole body. The void around them surged, and in just a moment, several figures in velvety white robes emerged from it. These guys fluctuated quite well. There were 5 people in total. The leader had a serious face, and his whole body was filled with aura of serenity, and even a faint fox pattern appeared on his Baiji's face. Please report to Lord Nine Tails. I am under the command of Lord Haisha Longlang, and I am under the command of Lord Monster Emperor. This time, I have brought 2 adults here to discuss important matters. Dai Chi glanced at the faint face on Xiao Yang's face beside him, and a touch of unease poured into his heart. It seems that Xiao Yang has not yet activated the strength in her body, so her skin and hair are slightly chilled and trembling. What a majestic and terrifying power that is. Full of nonsense. Within 10 breaths, leave the land of my clan's demon veins, otherwise you will be captured. The leader of the 5 people looked at Dai Chi and opened his mouth, his eyes slowly turned, and there was a faint terrifying fluctuation. Obviously he did not receive such an order. You. Being so ruthlessly pierced by the other party, Dai Chi's face was tense, and a faint anger swept out, but after a while, the anger dissipated again. After all, this is the place of the nine-tailed fox family, and once something unpleasant happens, it is they themselves who suffer. Good temper is not useful to everyone, scoring occasions. Xiao Yang did not show much surprise, instead he smiled faintly at this, looking at the few people in front of him, a touch of invisible coercion, like a falling meteorite, slowly suppressing several people. Hoo-hoo. Xiao Yang let out a sigh of relief, and his calm gaze suddenly filled with a fierce killing aura, as if the sharp scabbard had just been pulled out, arrogant. I came here with a request, but your actions are chilling. Xiao Yang sneered, the invisible coercion finally came, and in an instant, the bodies of the 5 people in front of him were twisted, and suddenly fell to the ground, in a state of embarrassment. You! How dare you attack us without authorization? The head of the man's face was full of gloomy and ugly meaning, and above his body, a fox phantom slowly emerged. Then you can only kill a few ants. Xiao Yang raised his eyes slightly, and glanced towards the depths of this mountain range. A faint laughter emerged. As soon as the words fell, a scorching reincarnation arrogance emerged like an earth-shattering rage, and the terrifying energy fluctuations generated along the way turned this quiet mountain range into a little restlessness. The younger generation is ignorant. Lord Xiao, why should you be angry? Just when Xiao Yang's attack was about to easily obliterate the 5 people, a green demonic energy surged out to the sky, easily extinguishing Xiao Yang's attack, and a long voice spread out at the same time. Qingya, bring 3 guests to see me at the Starjishing building. Yes, my lord. The ancient voice slowly shook the 5 people present. At this moment, no one seemed to be able to resist this voice. Being able to stop your attack so easily, among the nine-tailed clan, I am afraid that there are powerhouses at the 5th or even the 6th level of reincarnation. Under the leadership of the 5 demon guards, everyone crossed the mountain range and walked towards some rock caves in the mountain range where the energy of heaven and earth was rich. Kaylin couldn't help but use the soul transmission channel. Judging from the power of the 10-colored sky swallowing python's soul, this monster population seems to have something to do with the 10-colored sky swallowing python, and its strength should not be underestimated. After all, the power of the monster beasts is more than just strength. Similar to the nine-tailed clan, the terrifying power that steals the soul and captures the soul is terrifying. Why? Are you afraid that I can't deal with them? Xiao Yang shrugged slightly at this. Obviously he could sense the worry in Kaylin's heart. But a mere nine-tailed clan is not enough. The present said that, with his relationship with the Demon Emperor, Xiao Yang did not believe that the strong men of the nine-tailed clan would do some stupid things. In front of us is the residence of our nine-tailed clan. The elders in the star-picking building have been waiting for a long time. 3 guests, please come inside. Regardless of the majestic violent resentment towards the 3 of Xiao Yang, under the shock of the voice from the clan, the violent aura of the 5 people disappeared without a trace at this time. Most of the nine-tailed clan's residences are rock caves and the like, but in this very hidden forest area, there are 3 high-rise buildings emerging. The 3 tall buildings are formed in some mysterious arrangement, and there is a very obscure ancient attic in the center. One of the 3 tall buildings, Zhaixing Building, the tall buildings are as complex as 9 layers of overlapping. At this time, there is a middle-aged woman sitting quietly on a simple wooden chair in the 9th floor high-rise building, waiting for Xiao Yang and the others to arrive. I don't know what your name is. Just arrived here. Xiao Yang glanced out, and he could immediately sense that there were scenes of powerful soul pressure around here. That faint pressure turned out to be the 8-layer spiritual palace in Xiao Yang's body tumbling over it. The strength and soul power of this person in front of him are extremely terrifying. The elder of the nine-tailed clan, the nine-tailed Qingwan. The middle-aged woman's slightly narrowed eyes slowly opened, and she stared at Xiao Yang with some surprise. Obviously, Xiao Yang's countless deeds have made the Ninetails clan quite heard. Now that they see it, the real person seems to be more terrifying than the legend. Go down. After Xiao Yang and the others arrived, the middle-aged woman dismissed the 5 demon guards at will. It just happened, but it was offended by negligence, but this is also the most time-saving way. At this moment, looking at the posture of the strong man in front of him, Xiao Yang shook his head gently. However, this method is one of the quickest ways to directly meet the senior leaders of the Ninetails clan. I know why you came here. The Demon Emperor once told me about this. However, the place you are going is the territory of my nine-tailed clan. Even the old man can't easily enter that kind of place. If you rush into it, it will be difficult to convince the public. Having said this, the old woman's eyes dimmed slightly, she raised her head, her eyes flickered, and she looked at Xiao Yang with some expectation. Obviously this guy is also a cunning old man. We came here to solve the 10-colored sky-swallowing python. I wonder if Senior can do anything? Hearing Zhou Qinghuan speak like this, Xiao Yang was stunned for a moment. He did have a lot of medicinal herbs and fighting skills, but the Zhou clan didn't seem to need these, so they didn't have enough chips to compete with him. Trading. Senior, Sir Xiao Yang is the friend of the Demon Emperor. You must help them. Dai Chimei's eyes were surging on the side, and there were some pleading expressions in her eyes. Obviously, this time she was sent by the Six Tails to guide Xiao Yang and others, and it was all the needs. Senior, what is difficult to say, but it doesn't matter. The entire high-rise building was silent for a moment, and then Xiao Yang said lightly, whether successful or not, as long as there is a glimmer of hope, it is worth a try. After all, Xiao Yang's keen sense of smell can detect the power of the 10 colors on Kaylin's body, and it seems that it is swallowing and assimilating her little by little. Once the latter is swallowed up by its power, even Xiao Yang today may be helpless. I need you all to enter the Nine-Tailed Demon Palace and take out the tyrannical weapon left by Lord Nine-Tailed Demon Fox. This is the condition for you to enter the Demon Palace. If you can't agree, I'm afraid that this time Lord Xiao will have to run for nothing. Zhou Qinghuan said directly. After speaking, the fox light surged, and the terrifying coercion of the peak of the 5th reincarnation rank spread out. A tyrant. When Xiao Yang heard the words, he was startled at first, and then he couldn't help thinking. With the background of the Nine-Tailed clan, if one of the 10 major weapons in the demon world exists in the Demon Palace in the clan, why hasn't the server been taken out for a long time? I'm afraid this so-called demon temple is not a good thing. The 9th of the 10 major weapons in the demon world, the pupil of the demon soul. Zhou Qinghuan said indifferently, these news, naturally will not have any concealment from Xiao Yang. Little girl, are you willing to be a passerby? After finishing speaking, instead of forcing Xiao Yang, he gave the latter time to think, and then Zhou Qinghuan turned to stare at Dai Qi beside him with a smile. The 6 tails under the Haisha Longlang are naturally also the Nine-Tailed Fox clan. Now that the 6 tails dispatched Dai Qi to bring Xiao Yang and the two here, I am afraid their intentions are already obvious. I want this girl to acquire the inheritance of Lord Nine Tails. The Nine-Tailed Demon Temple is extremely mysterious and strange. Even if I enter it with my strength, it is more fortunate, and none of our Nine-Tailed Fox clan can resist the pressure and enter it. Daeki has the power left by the 6 tails, and it does not belong to our Nine-Tailed family. You should ignore the coercion of the soul and lead you into it. Zhou Qinghuan said word by word, and looked at Xiao Yang with anticipation. Okay. Dai Qi nodded solemnly, holding her small hand tightly. A spirit of fearlessness poured into her heart. She knew that if she wanted to gain strength, she naturally needed to go through some dangers. Chance was always accompanied by danger, and it was not unreasonable. Don't worry, there will be nothing wrong with us. Seeing Dai Qi's dignified appearance, Xiao Yang laughed dryly and responded slightly. Master Xiao, according to the records of our Nine-Tailed clan, there are indeed clues related to the 10-colored sky-swallowing python in the Nine-Tailed Demon Temple, but no one can tell whether this power can be resolved. Mysterious and weird. At the end of the story, Zhou Qinghuan couldn't help but say more. I know, but I can't guarantee to bring out the tyrannical weapon in an unowned state. Since the tyrant weapon is the weapon of the Nine-Tailed Demon Fox, I am afraid it has something to do with the Demon Palace, please no. But I will try my best. Xiao Yang nodded, and at the same time expressed his concerns. Okay. Zhou Qinghuan gritted his teeth slightly, and he could only agree after a while. When can I leave? It can be done now. Let's go then. As soon as the voice fell, the bodies of the 4 people surging, and they turned out to be ignored towards the center of the 3 high-rise buildings. There is an ancient silver-white ancient temple, standing slowly, the passage of time, let it stand still for thousands of years, majestic. On the silver-white giant gate of the ancient temple, there is always the shadow of a 9-tailed demon fox, which is so powerful and magnificent that the strong of the 9-tailed clan cannot easily approach. 9-tailed demon palace. What a strange demon temple. At night, Xiao Yang and the others came to the 9-tailed demon palace under the leadership of 9-tailed Qinghuan. Standing in front of the demon temple, an invisible coercion of the soul spread out from it. In addition to the slightly illusory 9-tailed demon shadow energy body above the main entrance of the demon temple, Xiao Yang couldn't help but produce a surge of energy. Weird touch. His soul power has already reached the immortal ascension boundary, filling up the 8th layer spiritual palace. With such a powerful soul power, does he feel a little bit strange? In the temple of the nine-tailed demon fox, are there all kinds of terrifying powers that shake the world? Or maybe there is a strong person who also belongs to the soul power of the immortal ascension boundary level, which makes you feel like this. Before entering it, there is one more strange thing to tell you. After pondering for a while, Zhou Qinghuan's eyes moved, and she was no longer hiding anything. After all, their entire race was helpless when it came to domination, and now they could only pin their hopes on Xiao Yang and the three of them. All ears. Xiao Yang's expression was very calm, but he couldn't help but feel nervous for Kaylin. A long time ago, the patriarch of the Ninetails clan once broke into the demon temple alone, but there was no trace after that. Even if we exhausted countless methods, we couldn't find any trace of her. According to some of our obscure investigations, there seems to be some aura that does not belong to our nine-tailed clan in the demon hall. As for the specific aura, we can't help but know. Nine-tailed Qinghuan told the important information of the nine-tailed clan, and naturally hoped that Xiao Yang would take back the tyrannical weapon. Doesn't it belong to the nine-tailed clan? Xiao Yang couldn't help but feel a little surprised. Combining his own guesses about evil aura, he seemed to have a premonition, but he didn't say much. If these things are true, then it is good to solve them by yourself. Let's move. As soon as the voice fell, Zhou Qinghuan's jade hand twitched, and there was a dazzling light on his body, which shot directly at the main entrance of the nine-tailed demon palace. The nine-tailed demon shadow perched on it gave a contempt, a cyan halo burst out, and the ancient and powerful nine-tailed shadow trembled, instantly shrouding Xiao Yang and the three of them, and included them in it. I hope this time, it will be successful. Looking at this scene, Zhou Qinghuan's eyes were filled with hope. Boom. In an instant, just when Xiao Yang and the three of them had just rushed into the demon palace, there were several samsara auras in the quarters of the Ninetails clan, which quickly gathered towards the demon palace. Great Elder. One after another, low-pitched roars carrying monstrous anger resounded. I have made up my mind. This time, the matter of the patriarch and the tyrant must be completely resolved. This matter does not need to be discussed. In the face of the obstruction of these stubborn elements in the clan, Zhou Qinghuan snorted coldly. Behind her, there was also a small nine-tailed fox dormant. Xiao Yang, did you hear that sound? The three of them entered the demon hall, and first they passed through a long dark passage and walked aimlessly in it, but Kaylin's brows were tightly wrinkled, and she looked around with some vigilance. Even the power of the 10-colored sky-swallowing python that was quietly flowing in his skin released a strange wave, as if there was an aura that made him feel disgusted. What sound? Xiao Yang heard the words and came back, but he didn't hear any sound. I didn't hear it either. Dai Chi looked very focused at this time. Baby. The sound of a baby crying. Kaylin spoke solemnly. This voice seemed to touch the power in her body, but no matter what Kaylin said, Xiao Yang and Xiao Yang didn't seem to hear the same thing at all. The immature baby's voice came out from this space again, and it fell crisply in Kaylin's ears. Suddenly, an angelica-colored light flickered, illuminating all the void in front of him, and the original dark passage suddenly became clear and opened up. This is a land of ruins. There are countless large and small prismatic mirrors around the ruins. These mirrors are incomplete, and even the placement is quite messy, but the silhouettes of Xiao Yang and the three are reflected on them. In the center, there is an altar. The baby's voice came from there. Xiao Yang and Kaylin glanced at each other, but they both noticed each other. Only Dai Chi, who looked like a superfluous person, was left. Walking quietly, it seems that this void is like a dead place, without any surging energy fluctuations, like a place where the energy of heaven and earth is deficient. Boom. Just as the three of them watched their surroundings vigilantly and walked towards the mirror-faced central altar, the holy flame that had been quiet in Xiao Yang's body burst out with a sense of disgust. The source of this fluctuation of holy flame is only the evil aura of the evil race from outside the territory. But in this space, there is no trace of energy. What is going on? After a while, they came to the edge of the altar. This altar, the whole body is snow-white, is made up of countless snow-white mirrors piled up, forming a circular altar about 100 feet long. Looking around, in the center of the altar, there is a silver stone statue as tall and short as a human being, standing quietly in it. This silver stone statue has a snow-white light lingering all over its body, and the figure is the appearance of a graceful and unparalleled human woman. Even if it was a stone statue, the moment his eyes fixed on the latter, Xiao Yang was able to discover the beauty of this stone statue woman, how endearing it was, but behind her, there were 9 stones carved from exquisite stones. Tail. In the altar, there is only the stone statue of the woman and the 9 tails behind her, and there is nothing else. What a terrifying demon. Kaylin narrowed her eyes slightly, but the power of the 10-colored sky swallowing python in her body was quiet, as if the object in front of her could not evoke its resonance. Either this stone statue is just a blind eye, or the power left by the 9-tailed demon fox has dissipated. When Kaylin and Daeki were doing nothing, Xiao Yang's eyes never left the stone statue. This stone statue is weird. Retreat. But just as Xiao Yang's voice fell, the stone statue suddenly trembled, and a burst of pure white light wafted out of it. The light flickered, and after a while, it turned into a baby the size of a few palms. The baby was like a newborn baby who fell to the ground. He opened his clear eyes and stared at the two in front of him. After a while, he babbled and spoke in the direction of Kaylin. Mother, mother, sir. Xiao Yang did not respond, but kept his eyes on the stone statue and this strange baby. When Kaylin was called out like this, her eyes suddenly became scattered, and she opened her hands in a daze, as if she wanted to hug this little guy in her arms. Looking at the scene of Kaylin, the baby actually showed a jerky smile and flashed away at Kaylin. At the moment when it flickered, a thick ***** smell spread from its body, and the intensity of the ***** fluctuation turned out to make this altar mirror world slightly illusory. That wave turned out to be the aura of a foreign evil race. This video will end here.